part 2 on the MR2. So, in the last video, you saw me putting everything together, and I was waiting on lower control arms, putting them on, and then I can measure up for wheels, etc, etc. So, I just put 2 of the control arms on, front and rear, done all the poly pushes. I didn't bore you with that, so that's in one video. And yeah, it's on the floor now. It looks silly. I just wanted to see how much camber we could gain with it. Obviously, this is ridiculous. I think there's like -12. I'm using my phone, so it's a bit iffy. But yeah, I'll show you that now. Now, there's like 75mm spacer on there and like a 30mm spacer on the front. So that's not even any load under the front there. That's as low as the coilover will go. So I need to raise the coilover because there's no jack under that or anything. So that's just what it is. That one looks fairly normal. I think there's like 9 on that one. Looks all right, which looks pretty decent. Obviously it's a lot. And obviously, yeah, lots of space on the back. So the face is a different offset. The front face has got a bigger back pad than the rear. Just basically tomorrow, I'm gonna try and set it up properly so we can measure up for barrels and lips. Hopefully not barrels, but it's looking like we might have to on the front. Got to get the camber set to about 7 degrees max, realistically. But we've got tons of adjustability now with the hub, the top mounts, the lower control arms. All of that has helped. Well, we can put as much camber on as we like, really. You wouldn't really want to drive -12 all the time. I'm sure Ruby definitely doesn't want to drive on -12 all the time, and I won't do it, but just thought I'd see what was the possibility, you know what I mean? Looking kind of bougie. I didn't realise they did the cinematic on the front camera. So yeah, I'll pick this up tomorrow. Front camber looks okay, really. Don't know. It always looks 10 times worse when there's not a tyre on. And when you put spacers on, it makes it look worse, camber-wise anyway. So we'll measure it up. Obviously, if you can imagine, that's got like 75mm worth of spacers. 50mm, we get like a 2-inch lip extra of what we already had. So yeah, it's probably looking like a 3.5, 4-inch lip maybe for what we need, which is decent. That's a big lip. And the barrel, we can keep the barrel as well. The front, we might need a different barrel. I'll show you the process, but yeah, just thought I'd film this now before I go home. It's a Sunday, it's 6 o'clock on a Sunday, and I'm messing about. Right, so it's the next day. I'm actually making it look sort of normal, not with the stupid amounts of camber. Messing about a bit. This is 8 degrees with a 40mm spacer. So that's probably 10mm too much sort of thing. To be perfect. Ever so slightly pokey there. So I don't have a 10mm spacer to try it. So I might do. I might find some universal spacers and see if I can play about with that with some more. But on the front, I mentioned we got a barrel issue. And the barrel's hitting the coilover. It's hitting right there. So what I'm doing now, so this is the rear. This is usually the rear. This what was on the rear. So this looks like it's gonna work. But if I take some camber out of the hub and pull the barrel away, I can then die grind these ones in a little bit more so I can get the camber back, but also the clearance down here. That way we should, it's very, very, very close, but we shouldn't have to change the barrel. So I'm gonna elongate all these just a little bit, again, just as we did the rear, and see what we got. Oh, you can see me in the reflection. Look, anyway, so elongated the top mounts, you know, pulled some camber off the hub, and we are so close. So close not to rubbing. You know what I mean? Like I need like a 5mm extra so it doesn't hit there. Now, I've actually noticed that I can get some more out of the top mount because I took these bolts out, these ones, you see there, and if I open up this hole and the middle hole, I can then get that further in and then take some camber off down there, and then we have the same wheel fitment as this without rubbing. So the main idea with this is that this is now a 9J, right? So I want to put a 195/40 on it. If we change the barrel, we go down to an 8.5, and then the smallest tire after that is like a 185/35, which will be horrible and we'll get blowouts all the time. So we need the 195/40 because it also gives us the stretch angle as well. So if we put a smaller wheel on the same tire, the tire is going to be more square, and we're not going to be able to have this type of fitment because the tire will be too big, won't be able to turn. So we need this 9, 100%. So yeah, going down on a barrel size at this point now is now no longer an option. So I now need to open up this one just like a couple of mil, just so that can go just here. Leave these ones where they are. There's enough gained on that one, a little bit on there. Get these bolts back in. Hopefully we're winners. You can see here, like, that should have come all the way up to this edge here, really. I'm gonna go all the way to that edge, put this all the way up to that edge. There's plenty of meat here, you know, like this is thick, so that's fine. This would have been obviously machined to fit this circle here, so they wouldn't have gone all the way. So just that tiny little cutout for this adjuster, and then it can carry on going. Usually you get a really thick top mount, like this thick, and this would go further on without affecting where these 4 bolts go, and then this would be protruding underneath. I'll show you a picture of an example right here what I mean. It's much easier to explain like that, but there you go. There we go, 8 degrees of camber, 30mm spacer instead of the 40. That is like perfect. I wouldn't go any further than that. So just need to measure how much that is. Probably an inch bigger lip than what we got there. And everyone wants an extra inch. And then that will take us to like a 10J on the rear, I believe. 10J rear, 215/40, 17. Should be good. I'm probably just saying a lot of numbers to you, and trying to explain the thought process behind all of this is really hard to explain. You just have to just get it. You have to be involved with it and mess about with many, many things. But what I like to do is go on tirestretch.com, look at the tire size, look at the stretch that we got, and then see what widths we can play with after we know what the tire stretch is. Because at the end of the day, if the tire doesn't fit your rim how you want it, you're going to rub, and you've got like half an inch bigger, then your wheels are ruined and you have to get smaller lips and barrels, and then you redesign everything. So there's a massive process and how things happen. So yeah, that's why I want to get the 9s on the front, because the tire size is quite literally everything. Tire size is such a big thing when you're building a car like this. Like if you don't have the right tires, the whole build goes to shit. The car doesn't sit how you want, won't drive how you want, you know. You just gotta get it right, you just gotta get it done. So, the 8 degrees is, you know, the right way to go sort of thing. So I like it when the camber actually follows the body line sort of thing. If it was like when I had 12 on it, it looks silly. But 8 looks roughly perfect. And I think you could go a little bit more to make it absolutely perfect, but we're still trying to drive this on the road in the UK, so. I nipped over to the back because the drill batteries have died, both of them, which is rather annoying. Like a glove. So yeah, took all that out, that's all the way in. We've still got full contact of the bearing on here, so you're not putting any extra stress on it. This is how they should have come, but obviously they wouldn't have gone any further if the car wasn't modified. So just open that up a tiny little bit, and hopefully that was the tiny little adjustment that we needed. Oh, so satisfying. That's nice. That's like a perfect amount. Anyway, that's done. Woohoo. Win. 8 degrees, clearance on the middle, 9J on the front, correct tyre stretch, correct fitment, bosh. That being said, it's extremely tight. But those two things don't move independently of each other, so they'll never come into contact unless you have a collapsed wheel bearing, which is, we shouldn't be driving anyway. Make your camber match front and rear. It's perfect. Don't do anything other. So I know I said the next video will include putting the wheels on, etc. But there was actually a lot more stuff I had to do before I could get to that point. But now all the R&D has been done. All the clearance issues have been figured out. You can use the front wheels. The back ones, we need 3.5-inch lip, 3.5-inch reverse lips for these wheels. Now rims carnated do lips, but for that size they've got like a flange, like a stepped Euro looking lip right on the edge where this bit is. So it's completely different size. I'll put a picture in now. But the hard bit is done now. It is a case of literally rebuilding those wheels, getting tyres mounted, finishing up all the little odds and ends. Obviously I've got to do the other side. Everything I've done on this side, I've got to do on the other side. And then after that, I've got to go get tracked, etc. Get it all back on, do the final little fitting up, and I'll be finished. So, another rambling video, but thanks for watching. See you later.